accept it so we can,
I did.
Oh, you did. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're live. We are live.
Started.
Derek, if you want to go on Facebook and share it, you got a couple minutes if you want to do that. If not, we'll just get the ball rolling.
I'm gonna share it.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to share it from your personal page or the Revelations page, however you want to do it.
Okay. Give me two. There we go. Beautiful.
So easiest way to share this is there's a link. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, here we go.
So I just tagged you in the link too. So if you wanna, you can share that. Whatever you want to do. I get to lower myself so I don't hear my voice. Hi, Olga. Olga said hi, everybody. Hi. Happy Sunday. Sorry for the technical.
What's up, Olga? Thanks for always tuning in. We really value that.
Hi, Olga.
Steve Sorrenti said hello, everyone. Nice seeing you. Hi, Steve. Thank you for tuning in.
What's up, Steve?
Debbie said hi, all. Debbie, sorry for the technical difficulties. My fault. My password problems. Matt Gannum did the fire.
Thanks, Matt. Matt's looking for clinicians. So if there are any clinicians out there, LICSW, LCSW, MSW, hit up Matt Gannum. Great company to work for, great person to work for. I know from personal experience.
Okay, so let's kick it off. Okay. Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions' mission is to connect those with substance use disorder to recovery treatment services. Additionally, we offer scholarships to safe and effective sober living, educate the public through community outreach, and help veterans access premier quality treatment. Our organization embraces cultural diversity and is inclusive of every race, religion, sexual orientation, veteran status, socioeconomic background, disability, and age group.
Boom. Perfect.
Boom.
Killed it. Nailed it.
Okay. So we can start off with spinning the wheel. And
my favorite part, spinning the wheel, bringing those sober living dollars.
Okay. So we're spinning. Screen is shared. Let's spin the wheel. And this money goes to our angels, which are, people looking for treatment. And we spin the wheel to kind of add a little layer to it. And whatever number it lands on, we ask if people could donate that amount or more or less. So let's get it started.
Wow, $3 getting off cheap tonight, so don't be afraid to.
Oh, Mike, you just muted yourself.
Yeah, so $3 you got off cheap tonight, so don't be afraid to triple that number up, double that number up. Whatever you want to donate, like Jessica said, this is dollars for angels, so it's just a $3 suggested donation. The money goes towards safe, sober living for our people that are out there still struggling. Once they're ready for recovery, once they're ready for safe, sober living, we want to be able to provide them with that. We want to never have to say no. And tonight's lucky number is 3. So if you could donate $3, our Venmo account is in one of the boxes. It's at Recovery Solutions on Venmo. And the scanner, the barcode is right there on one of the boxes.
And if you need the code, it's 0143. The information's to the left of me, or am I pointing the wrong way on this? Because it's backwards. It's above you, Mike, if you want to point to it.
All right, it's just one of the boxes.
Yeah, and we have a couple comments first before we kick it off. Paula Camito said, hello, everyone. Hi, Paula. Thank you for tuning in. Teresa Legero said, happy Sunday, everyone.
Hi, Mom.
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 Anthony Fitzmaurice said, DQ.
DQ.
Pasquale Piantadosi said, love to listen every Sunday, every week. Great speaker. Love you, Mikey.
Thanks, Chippy. Thanks for always tuning in, my brother.
And he was one of our guests, wasn't he? Pasquale?
No. But
Oh, I
we
thought
could
so.
have Pasquale on.
Richie Evans, the wolf itself,
The
said
wolf,
my guy Derek with the woo and the hearts.
my man.
Anthony Fitzmaurice said human beings with the same hand thing. Richie said wolf dollars. It is wolf dollars to help our fellow wolves out there, our angel wolves.
To get our wolf cubs into safe, sober living.
Christopher Engelhardt said, "What's the game?" So we spin the wheel. I pretend to be Vanna White, and it comes on a magic number, and we ask anyone out there that would be willing to donate that amount. You know, we don't want to ask for $20 every week. We don't want to ask for 50. We just ask for little increments. And also thank you for all who have donated so far. You know, my aunt just sent us a check, and anyone else that's donated, we really appreciate it. We've been trying to scholarship people, because what's our motto?
Yeah, we never want to have to say no. So we always want to be able to provide that scholarship when someone's in need, especially when they're ready and they're willing and they're eager for further care. We want to be able to do that for them.
Michael Di Natale said that, I don't know, what does this mean with the fire?
It's just like high fives, right?
Oh, high five. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to start using that.
Or it's like Jay-Z, The Rock.
There you go.
Steve Sorrenti said, lately I couldn't stomach alcohol if I wanted to. Well, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we can, you know, offer you some hope and whatever you need. Let's see. We got Deanna Crawford said, "Hey, Derek."
What's up?
Mandy McGowan. Hi, Mandy. Hope you're
Hey,
doing well.
Mandy.
Happy birthday. Okay, Christopher Engelhardt, pretend nothing. Vanna ain't got nothing on you. Thank you.
Ooh, look at that.
I take that as a very high compliment. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can get some dollars because of it.
That's it.
Mandy said, "Derek, thank you for taking my brother Mark in a while back and trying to help him. So grateful."
Absolutely.
So I'm going to pause in the comments so that we can, like we say when Richie's on, dive in.
Yeah, let's dive in. So tonight we got my man Derek on, a father, a friend, a person in recovery, a fiance, business owner, entrepreneur, a guy who gives 100 and 1,000% of himself to people in the struggle with substance use disorder. I've seen Derek's places. He's got 3 beautiful sober homes right now, and taking guys through the work and helping guys change their perspective on life and giving them another shot at life. And Derek's the owner and founder of Revelations Recovery. What's going on, my brother? Tell us a little bit about your struggle. How did you get to where you're at today? What brought you to the rooms, the halls, to the recovery world, the treatment world?
Yeah, so thank you guys for having me. My name's Derek Quirke. I'm a person in long-term recovery. In recovery from fill in the blank. You know, I struggled for a long time, man. You know, growing up in New Bedford, you know, I tried to fit in young, started out just like most kids, smoking, drinking, partying, you know, which eventually led to other things. You know, it cost me a passion of mine, which growing up, I had a passion to play soccer and I wanted to play college ball. And I had some good opportunities to do something with that. And drugs and alcohol stripped me from that. And then, you know, barely graduated high school, started selling drugs at a young age. You know, and like the reality is like, I came from a household where, you know, when I was relocated with my mom after my biological parents had split up, I had a very rough childhood when I was young, very dysfunctional home. But later on, like when I was like 8, 9 years old, a good man entered my mother's life. He was a positive male role model, provided for me. I really didn't have any reason per se to be out there doing the things I was doing, but I was attracted to the lifestyle. And you know, it cost me a lot of pain and heartache. I eventually just, just like a lot of us progressed and, graduated into harder drugs. And a huge turning point for me was when I failed off the soccer team my senior year. I really had lost my purpose, and I started using heavily. I couldn't deal with the emotions attached to that failure. I barely graduated high school. I ended up going into night school. I graduated from New Bedford High. I got an opportunity to play soccer again down in Florida, and I screwed that up. Ended up back here in Mass. Struggled all through my 20s. Still not really realizing that I had a problem, because the material things that I had in my life created an illusion that I wasn't that bad. I met a good girl when I was young, and I ended up getting married, and I had 2 beautiful kids. And recovery has given me the gift to be able to mend that relationship. That girl, I held her hostage for like 16 years, man. And yeah, it's just been a long, crazy journey, but I can tell you all that stuff ultimately led me to where I'm at now. Like, what once almost killed me gave me a whole new life. And I'm so grateful that I can sit here as a IV heroin addict and say that, not only did I find a way that works for me to stay sober, but that I actually enjoy life today. And I've had the best time of my life these last almost 5 years now. It's just been beautiful. It's been beautiful, man.
Talk about something that registered with me, and like something that I, is part of my story as well, is doing what we can to fit in, trying to get with the in crowd, trying to gain acceptance, validation from others. Talk about some of the things where that mentality took you, or those false belief systems took you.
Yeah, so that's something that we use in the house with these guys here. And a lot of us fall victim to that, especially growing up in a city, and that whole image of, the jewelry, the money, the cars, the clothes, the women, you know, kept me sick for a long time. And, I was out there, I'd go up the north end and hang out with all my soccer friends, right, who were all hardcore Portuguese, and I would be speaking Portuguese playing soccer. Then I go down to the hood in the west end, drop my pants a little bit, and hang out with the brothers, and it's just like, I think when we wear these masks, right, and we just want to be accepted, and add in the drugs and the alcohol, and the further we get into that, the more I lose myself. I mean, I got to a point in my life where I didn't even know who I really was.
Right.
And I've learned in recovery that the steps showed me who I wasn't, right? You hear a lot of people say like, oh, I got to do a 4th step, I got to work the steps, I got to find out who I am. And it's like, no, you got to find out who you're not.
Yeah. You need ego reduction.
Yeah. And like, and growing up, like, I always had that word thrown at me, like, oh, that kid Derek Quirke, he's got a really big ego. And I always associated it with like conceit, right? And then I find out later that ego comes in many different forms. It tells me things that I'm not good enough, that I'm never gonna be anything. And I've learned a lot about myself through this through the 12-step fellowship. And it's acceptance. Acceptance is huge in my journey, and it's something that I I practice to the best of my ability, but I also preach in the house. Is like, I had to get to a point, man, where it's like, I had to accept myself with this disease. You know, and then once I could do that, once I could accept that the damage had been done, and that I could actually verbalize that I was an addict, I started to get a little momentum and started to be able to like treat this thing, you know. But
that's
yeah,
a big part of it, you know, the acceptance piece of it. I have the acceptance prayer as the background on my phone because it's such a key piece. Like anytime we're feeling resentful or like not good with self, it's all because we can't accept a person, place, thing, or situation as it is. And it will lead us
absolutely.
right down that, you know, I think that's the key to everything, especially in recovery.
Oh yeah, I have to agree with you.
So we do have a couple comments. So Kaylee Centeo said, "How are you doing today?" I think we're doing fabulous.
I'm doing great.
I'm doing
Fabulous.
phenomenal.
Ready for the storm. We're pumped up.
I woke up. I'm sucking air. Yo, I got more than I had back when I was using. I'm doing great.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. So Richie Evans said, "Derek's a good brother. This is going to be a good interview." I know we missed the wolf tonight. Catherine Trail said, "Hi, Mikey. Thank you for doing this every week. I'm quiet, but always trying to listen. Love what you guys are all doing."
Catherine, I'm proud of you, my friend. Always good to hear from you.
Shannon Barrasso said, "Sweet shirt, Mike. Love soap." Hey,
Soap
Derek.
on, what matters?
Hey, Derek. Great to see you. Congrats on the new house.
Thank you.
Shane Poulin said, "I see you, D. Thank you for pointing us in the right direction." Mike Kilberry said, "Hi, all. Thanks for reaching out the other night via Facebook. Can't wait to hopefully share my recovery story with you all." And then the wolf has some questions.
The wolf's very active tonight.
I see that. Tonight. I like it.
The wolf should be on with us. So
we're gonna get him on next week again.
Yeah. Well, next week there's no show. FYI.
Oh, because Super Bowl.
We're watching Tom Brady.
That's right.
Lose the Super Bowl.
No. You watch your mouth.
Be careful now.
I gotta tell you, I told my
Derek's
Tommy,
about to cut the interview short.
Mike, you know what Mike told me, and it kind of is perfect. And even my boyfriend agreed. He said, "I'm like a jealous ex-girlfriend when it comes to Tom Brady."
When it comes to Tom,
I guess it's kind of true.
You got to root for him. He did so much for us. He did so much for the city of Boston, for the.
I agree.
New England. He did so much.
I got to write it down on my fourth step. Richie asked, question 1, who is Derek's favorite soccer player and why? And question 2 is your favorite soccer team and why?
That's a good question. I would definitely have to say, growing up, I really enjoyed watching Klinsmann from Germany. You know, but I was a huge Diego Maradona fan. Yeah, I was pretty heartbroken when I heard he passed not that long ago. But yeah, I mean, I'm just a fan of the game. Like I was watching a game at home yesterday. I was watching Manchester United. Like I still watch it. You know, I grew up you know, in New Bedford, predominantly Portuguese, so it was that whole Benfica Sporting rival. But I would say Benfica would probably be my favorite team. A lot of good memories growing up watching them. So
nice. I actually was a pretty good soccer player back in the day. I scored 3 goals once, a hat trick.
That's a hat trick.
And then I once scored a goal from the corner kick.
Okay, so you got some skills.
I do. I mean, I did.
Bending it like Beckham.
Yeah, exactly. Anthony Fitzmaurice said ego and worldly desires, which is absolutely true. Ken Tom said, what caught me? The material things I had led me to believe things were okay. Boom. That deserves a mic drop when you said that. Brian Kirchdorfer said, what's up, DQ?
Curdy, my man.
Richie said, question 3. Has religious faith played any part in your recovery? My mom's from Cambridge, a huge Portuguese community, and they were very religious. Good question, Richard.
That is a great question. Yeah. And he brought it back to recovery, which we like.
We do.
Yeah, that's always a fun topic in recovery, right? Yeah, so I grew up Catholic, grew up with a punishing God. Don't do that, Derek. God's gonna punish you.
Yeah.
Better go to
My mom.
confession.
I'm sorry.
Better go to, like, you always have to go to confession anytime you do something wrong. You know, you
Yeah.
better go sure that you repent or whatever it is. 8 Hail Marys.
Yeah. So growing up in an Irish alcoholic home before we relocated out to New Bedford, like my grandmother was from Ireland right off the boat. She would go to church at least once a day, maybe twice. So I grew up around that. I did the whole CCD thing. I was baptized and confirmation, all that. And then like I kind of got away from the church. I mean, the more I was in the streets, the more I got away from that in my teen years. And then I always believed that there was like I always believed in Jesus, I guess. And God looked like this Viking looking dude in a white robe with a staff that was just up there in the cloud zapping people for their sins, But I had an uncle who converted from Catholicism to Christianity, became born again Christian. I got involved. I had a pretty serious court case in my early 20s. I was facing a lot of time, and I was out of options. I was, using. It was all a direct result of me using. And I found a home church. I got very involved in that. I got baptized in that church, and everything was good for a while. I was stipulated to 12-step to AA for a couple of years, and then I was just there to get my slip signed, and I eventually fell off. But I've always believed in God. I would say, I grew up pretty religious. I'm not like that in recovery. I did come into the program, hardcore believer of Jesus Christ. But since then I have been more open-minded. I'm more into like Buddha, Yogananda, spirit of the universe stuff, which my girl is. Oh yeah. Yeah. So for me, it's just the most important thing is knowing that it's not me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And to be completely honest, like I've never been more confused on my concept of my higher power, but I just continue to pray. I do feel a connection. So it works. I don't really try to fix it, constantly seeking.
Good stuff. Great answer to that question, by the way. Great answer. I mean, as long as, like you said, I love that you said it, as long as it's not me, because I could have this like this kind of like God
complex.
God complex, well, not currently, but in the past, before, like, really believing in God, that you could come to a place where like you start to think like you're in control of something, or you have some type of powers, when something bigger than you is running the show, no matter what we believe in, something bigger. And then there's the lower power too, and the lower power being like our disease, our addiction, the thoughts that we tell ourselves, those that low level thinking, that low self-worth that we feel. That's the lower power trying to trick us.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Before we move on, I just want any people that have just tuned in, our magic number tonight was
3.
Give
it up.
We've already raised tonight $19, which we really appreciate anyone out there that's donated. So we ask if you can do $3, if you can do more, if you want to do 3 times 3 and do 9, if you want to do 3 times 10 and do 30, anything. So our Venmo information is in one of the boxes. at Recovery Solutions, Julie Bunch, and the code is 0143. And it's
And
dollars
while,
per angel.
while we have a couple minutes, I'm going to go over our team and what we do. So our executive director is Julie Bunch. Our co-director is Debbie Moore. Our registered nurse is Linda Hanley Powell. There's myself, there's Jessica, there's the Wolf, Richie Evans, who does a boatload of things. He's our recovery coach supervisor. He's our director of all our operations. We have Kim G. She's our director of social media and networking. We have an outreach team. So we do a lot of things. We have all of us are certified recovery coaches for the most part. We offer peer-to-peer support. We offer placement into treatment. We offer intervention services or a referral to intervention services. We also offer, what else do we offer? Scholarships for sober living.
Right. And all these services that Mike is talking about are free. And what we're asking for.
Yep.
And what the money is for. What was that?
Good stuff. Really good stuff, you guys.
And what the money is for is to help people be scholarshipped into sober living. Why is this saying this meeting will end in 10 minutes?
Oh, and Kara, we almost forgot Kara, another value team member who does a bunch of outreach for us.
Yeah. So we're having, hold on, this is saying that this is going to end in 10 minutes. So we have a slight problem. So if this ends in 10 minutes and we have to relog in, we're having technical difficulties tonight. Which
So
is
let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the good stuff. Well, tell us about your revelation. Tell us about you coming to, a seat of consciousness and turning your life around, Derek, and how you developed what you got going on right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's probably, that's probably the most important part, right? Is it doesn't really matter what got me here. Most people know how to get, whoever's suffered from addiction knows how to use. And I don't ever like to talk about that too much, but yeah, man, just years of not knowing who I was, always trying to get out of myself, masking everything with a substance, brought me to a place in my mid-30s that, I had that material stuff, like I said, in my life. And, I wanted to stay clean, really, truthfully, probably since like 2004, 2005. And I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't. I tried for like a good 10 years. And, this last run I went on lasted about 14 months. And, thankfully I got a shot at this recovery. I ended up going down to South Florida to a 12-step treatment facility. I did a PHP down there after detox. And I ended up going on the halfway house. Came back home to Mass because I had a son at the time. I only had one kid, and I was having issues in my relationship. But other than that, like, everything was going good down there. I ended up coming home to Mass to sober living, and I was directed to the recovery center in Quincy, which is where I met my sponsor, Jimmy DeVoy, who I will forever be grateful for that, man. And it's funny, like, I got stood up that night by someone who was trying to get me into a sober house. And I just remember that individual saying that there was a meeting in that building. And at this point, I'm fresh out of Florida. I didn't even know what AA really looks like out there. And I walked in and, it was like standing room only. And I ended up meeting Jimmy that night. And I heard him share. I asked him to sponsor me. And, it was early on, as crazy as it sounds, like I was having visions and thoughts of starting a sober house in very early sobriety. And I the more I worked the steps, the more I started to have this awakening. you know, as Jimmy always used to like to throw in my face, he would remind me that I had been sleeping for 35 years.
Sleepwalking, right?
Sleepwalking, snoring,
Yeah,
out cold, he
yeah,
would say, you know.
yeah.
And I get it now. Like he wasn't insulting. It was just that's what happens with this stuff when done the way it's laid out. And yeah, so I go through, you know, I do a fourth, I do a fifth step. I have a pretty cool experience with him. I think we read my fourth step. I think it was like 25 hours of just him just annihilating my ego, which was necessary. And you know, I had this feeling, I had this idea that maybe I could start helping some people. You know, if this worked so well for me, then I'm sure there's other people out there that would want it. And started working at High Point in summer 2016. I ended up falling into a brand new program, hospital-based program, as a recovery coach out there. Working for the late great Cap Michael, who, you know, it's funny, you never know who you're going to meet in life, right? And who's going to play a certain role. And you know, I remember the day that I met her. I had no clue how important this woman was going to become in my life. And you know, she wore a lot of hats for me. And I think I was blessed to be able to work under her leadership for as long as I did. You know, and yeah, so I started doing that. I worked in the hospitals, you know, and in the background, trying to put together a business plan for the sober house. You know, I didn't want to just start like just another sober house. You know what I mean? There's so many of those. I wanted to really, like, I took about a year and a half, 2 years studying the game and figuring out, like, all right, what works, what doesn't, why doesn't this work? You know, what's missing? Well, how can we do this and make it affordable? And it's been a learning experience. I mean, we're coming up on our 2 years on February 2nd for Revelations. But there was a lot of hands in this. I didn't get here on my own. You know, I ended up meeting my fiance Samantha at High Point, and you know, I have to credit her for really being the one that from day one who really helped me put this idea that was on a Dunkin' Donuts napkin into what we have going right now. You know, and it's crazy sometimes. Like, I don't even stop and smell the roses along the way sometimes. And I think I need to be better at that, and just trying to really take a moment to reflect, you know, but then keep it moving, you know. But yeah, we opened a house in Situate, February 2nd, 2019, men's 12 step. You know, we rented the property. It was a struggle the first year. The location had a lot to do with it. But some guys did really well there. Like our very first resident, he's still sober. There was a couple of guys that benefited from going through that house. But the game changer was when we got the Kingston house. When we got that property, we got that in November of 19. It was just a lot more conducive to sober living, more job opportunities, more meeting opportunities, you know, right on public transportation. Matter of fact, Curdy, who's on, I don't know if he's still on, he went through the house. He's doing great. He just came up on like a year and a half. He was one of the first residents there. Yeah, that house, man, that house has had a lot of success. There's a aura in that house. There's an energy, you know, and I think
I don't want to cut you guys off, but for whatever reason, it's saying that we have less than a minute because we're having Zoom issues. So what we can do is, if it ends, then we can just jump right back into the same meeting room and start streaming again. Me and Kim have been trying to figure this out, which is why I've kind of been like looking at my computer. So Zoom issues. So if this ends, we'll just jump back in. So anyone on Facebook, just rejoin us in the new video.
Rejoin us. We need you, please.
Please.
you,
So
guys.
I can just end this and then we can restart it because I don't know what is
So
happening.
same link.
Yes, I gotta just find it and then we can just rejoin the same link.
All right.
So
cool.
I'll end it and we'll rejoin it.
All
Just
right.
my day. All right. See you guys in a second.
All right.